We'll do what we can. And we will do what we can to assist. And as you can see, the call is being recorded, and we have set everyone but the speakers on mute. So today's a big day, as we are here to celebrate with Tiffany and her family, and Hassan and Hajar and their family for the completion of their new homes in Pelham. We also celebrate a milestone in Pioneer Valley Habitat's history, as we have now completed 50 homes in Franklin and Hampshire counties, where we've worked with 50 families who have built with their own hands the strength, stability, and self-reliance that comes with affordable home ownership. As you know, Habitat homes are built with a tremendous outpouring of community support. Many people have contributed to the building of these two homes in Pelham, and we're looking forward to hearing from some of them today. So thank you all for being here and for the many ways you continue to champion affordable home ownership for local families. And with that, I will turn the program to Executive Director Megan.
Thank you. Sorry, I had to unmute myself as well. I really appreciate, thank you everyone for being here today. And thank you, Muthoni, for welcoming us. Our organization has decided that it's important when we come together to celebrate the building of a home to acknowledge the Indigenous people still living in our area and the history of Native people that were here before us. I'd like to ask board member Marianne to share with us a little history of the land where the Pelham homes now stand. And I'm wondering, is Marianne on the call? I think she might be a few minutes late. So I can read the land acknowledgement, and I apologize if my pronunciations are not perfect because I didn't practice in advance. As we dedicate these two homes, we would like to acknowledge the first peoples who settled and stewarded this land that is now part of the town of Pelham. Before it was settled by Irish immigrants, the Pecumtuck. The Pecumtuck tribe was mostly destroyed during the King Philip's War of 1675 to 76. And those who survived that bloody war fled to Nipmuc territory to our west, or Abenaki territory to our north, and were eventually assimilated into those tribes. We honor them as we celebrate with these two families their new homes built on this site. So as Muthoni mentioned in her opening remarks, many people have contributed to the bringing of this project to completion, and we are grateful to those many community partners whose financial contributions were critical to our building these homes. They include the Town of Pelham Community Preservation Committee through a Community Preservation Act grant, Florence Bank, the Massachusetts Clean Energy Center, the Mass Safe Program, the USDA Rural Development Program, and Home City Development donated a parcel of land that allow us to turn this project from a one home to a two home project. And PV Squared installed 2 donated solar arrays to help offset some of the future energy use for these homes. You can tell there are a lot of contributors to this project. Many, many others contributed in-kind materials and services. And Robin, I think, is about to bring up a list of some of those different supporters. So I think go right on to the next screen, Robin. Oh, nope, I'm sorry. We would, I can't list them all here, but you can see them on our website and many other places, the many contributors to this project, the individuals and businesses and groups that have made building of these homes possible during another trying pandemic year. And we hope you'll join us in thanking them and supporting them with your patronage. And thanks again to Tom Adams and the Real Life crew for producing another beautiful video that tells the story of home ownership dreams coming true. We'll see that video a little bit later in our program. As always, a deep well of gratitude to all the volunteers, the regulars out building, our thoughtful leaders on the build team, and all those working behind the scenes, like the family mentors, family support, and hospitality committees, and many others. And this is one other thing you might not know about our Habitat for Humanity affiliate. For every home we sell here in Western Massachusetts, we make a donation to the Habitat for Humanity affiliate in Haiti. We and you are part of a worldwide commitment to everyone having a decent and affordable place to live. Thank you. I could keep on thanking people for a long time, but I would like to hear from some other of the supporters involved in this project. So Robin, I don't know if we have Barbara on the line yet, so we might do this a little bit out of order. Oh, no, Barbara, you're here. Wonderful.
I'm here.
So the housing committee in Pelham was such a critical part of this project. It wouldn't have happened without your vision. So take it away, Barbara. Thank you.
It really is fabulous to be here at this event and to see the realization of a dream that began at least as far back as 2018, actually quite a few years before that, but at least in 2018, when two members of our committee spoke to the owners of what was then 8 Amherst Road, a lot. And are Sarah and Bart here? Sarah and Bart Rankin? I thought they might be coming. Anyhow, they were very generous in allowing us to purchase their property. They had intended to keep it in the family. And when our members talked to them about what we had in mind, they said, this sounds like a good vision to us and we'd like to be part of it. So that was the first step. It was huge. And then thanking the planning board at that time under the leadership of Abby Jenks, who I think is here, who had the vision to create high density zoning in a town that never had any such thing. And because of the new zoning regulations that the residents of Pelham approved at town meeting, we could see that we were just a little bit shy of 2 building lots. And since Home City Development, who was the developer we were working with to try to create our first affordable rental development, agreed to donate, I think it was another, I don't know, 24 or 26 feet of frontage. All of a sudden, we had the possibility for 2 building lots, and that would not have been possible without the new zoning. So that was just great. And then, of course, going to the Community Preservation Committee to try to get the money to purchase the property. And all of that takes a little bit of time, and there had to be a new appraisal done. And again, Sarah and Bart were just fabulous in agreeing to go along with the appraised value, which happened to be lower than the assessed value. Bear in mind, people, assessed values and appraised values are 2 different things. And therefore, we were able to do it and put it together. And then it was just a question of what else do we need to do? So many people donated time and material. And it was just tremendously gratifying to see the town rally around the support of this project. And it's just thrilling to have it come to life.
Thank you so much for those words, Barbara, and for the support of all the people in town, from the planning board, the housing committee, the CPC, but also all the people in town who went to town meeting and voted for the funding for purchasing the land. And the neighbors, Home City Development, and the Rankins. It is an impressive group effort. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. It truly is.
Part of that community also is our financial supporters, and I'd like to welcome Jim Hickey to say a few words from Florence Bank.
Thanks, Mike, Megan, and thanks everybody for inviting me to participate in today's celebration. It's a pretty exciting day for sure, and it's a little extra special for me too, because I actually did some volunteer work on the house that's right behind Walter, the single floor home. In terms of Florence Bank, we are proud, pleased, thrilled, fill in an adjective, to support such a wonderful organization and a wonderful project that really helps open the doors for home ownership for folks. So I'm really proud to be part of a community that really is so supportive and caring. And also proud to be part of a bank that kind of focuses on community support. And that's, certainly what Florence Bank is all about. And we're so pleased to be able to support this project. Having a place to call home helps provide security, stability, a sense of place, all the things we strive to see as families, in our community enjoy. So anyway, congratulations, best of luck to the homeowners. I hope everything goes really well. And sorry if the paint job isn't 100%, I was part of that. So anyway, congratulations and best luck going forward. And thanks again for having me today.
Thank you for your support and for showing up in person to get that paintbrush in your hand. I think that's one of the wonderful things about Habitat for Humanity is the community building that happens on the construction site, and having people who come for one day or come every week, and the mixing of people from different backgrounds and experiences, but everyone is there for the common purpose of making a difference in someone's life. So thank you. And we titled this section of the program, Getting the Job Done. And who better than Walt Kohler to say a few words about getting the job done, one of our longest running volunteers. Walt, can you tell us a little bit about this house, these two houses you've been building?
I'd be happy to. I'm going to share the screen. You're going to let me share the screen. So I have a few pictures that'll give you the history of what was going on here. So as Barbara had mentioned, originally there was a house on the lot here, a house and a garage, and the house had been demolished several years before, but the garage hadn't. Actually, I should go back a little further. This is a picture I believe was taken in about February of 2020. The planning for this began, at least for Habitat's part of the planning, began back in very early of 2019. So you can see that today it's over 3.5 years later that we actually have completed the houses. So it takes a very long time to actually to get it done. But this is a picture of what the site was like. Actually, it was a little earlier. This shows after trees were taken down. There were trees all along here that were going to impede the solar access. Fortunately, well, in some sense, not unfortunately, Eversource has a major trunk line of power that goes up to Pelham from here, and they're concerned about the trees falling on the major source line and taking out the power for Pelham. So they agreed to take the trees down for us, and that enabled us to get much better solar access. I'm going to try to navigate my picture here. For some reason, it's not navigating it for me like I accepted. There we go. We had to take the garage down. We thought about rehabbing it, but it really didn't work out with the plan to have two houses on the site. So this is the first experience we had with what it means to try to dig a hole or take things apart in Pelham. Unfortunately, we soon realized that we found when digging an oil tank that probably dates back to the 40s or 50s that hadn't been detected on the site, and actually included several hundred gallons of oil. So that was our first little hiccup, but we managed to get it out safely without doing any contamination, or the contractor did, the environmental contractor. We actually began construction it was about, we started clearing the site in April, and in early May, we were able to put in the foundations. And you can see in the front here some of the examples of rocks that we found. This is a very rocky site. It was a real nightmare for the site contractor to try to dig without exposing more rocks. Here's some early volunteers. We had put in the insulation on the inside of the foundation. This is the single story. Working outside on hot days in June and July. Here we're putting in setting up piers for the sheds that were to be built. And our first wall got up. The first wall came up in I guess it was early July. Hassan, here's Hassan on site working. Hassan, I hope you recognize yourself. This is Hassan, the homeowner. He's up on the ladder there with his hard hat on. Now, we have a lot of regular volunteers, and they're happy to work together. And here's a picture, of sort of a funny face picture there of the volunteers that were working that day, including Hassan on the left there with the white hat turning away. This is an example of the volunteers. It's one of the few times that volunteers have started to actually put up the roof trusses themselves with the help of a crane operator. It's something we've learned to do over time, and I think that's something we'll probably continue to do. This was going up sometime in July or August. Here are volunteers up on the roof. Oh, and here's Tiffany. Tiffany's a homeowner of the single story, working along with the other volunteers. Tiffany's helping to raise the wall. In this case, I think it was raising the wall on her house, the single story house, along with the other volunteers. Here's Tiffany again. I like this picture. So we were able to get the outsiders of the house basically completed, mostly completed, anyhow, not absolutely completed, but enough to be able to work during the winter on the inside. So here are again, both of the houses were pretty much tucked up to work for the winter, and then winter came. And during winter, it was the time for the subs, like the electrician and the plumbing and the insulation contractor to come in and do their thing. So it was a little bit of a break while some of that work was going on. Now, it wasn't just Hassan who came to volunteer on the site. Here's a picture of Hajar working along with Jean, putting up drywall. Whoops, let me go back one. Here's another example of drywall being put up in the two-story house. This is a group of volunteers sitting around for lunch. Hassan frequently wanted to bring lunch for everyone, and this is a special lunch that Hassan brought. And I assume that it wasn't just Hassan that made it. He brought lunch for everyone. We were very pleased to have the lunch and have the fellowship of all sitting around having lunch. There were times during January, the January thaw, it got a little muddy, but we got through it. After the drywall is up, then we have contractor comes out and finishes the drywall for us. And then it's time for volunteers to do the finish work. And here a group of volunteers are working on the window jamb returns. We have both women and men volunteers. We have a very strong group of women who come regularly. We're happy to see that. We do all the things from the framing to the walls, to the shingling, all the way down to the tiling. Oh, there's Tiffany again. Tiffany is finishing off the grout in her floor. This is Donna, one of our regular volunteers helping. So I don't have very many interior pictures, but here's some pictures of the one-story kitchen that when we had just put in or started to put in the counter, all of the, there you go. The site work started to clear off the site so we could actually cover up the rock and bring in some soil so that we could plant some grass. And this occurred in early May, or no, actually it was late May. Our schedule got pushed back quite a bit. Here's an example of some of the flooring that got put down in Tiffany's house. So we brought a lot of loam in to be able to grow grass, or at least attempt to grow grass. Here are volunteers out there. We had to lime and fertilize and seed and then mulch the property. So we were meeting here to one day to near the end of the project to celebrate the fact that it was almost done. This is inside of one of Tiffany's bedrooms. So right now, the picture behind me is also the picture I'm showing right here. This is the Tiffany's one-story house with somewhat green grass. And here is Hassan Hajar's house as well. Here, this is the final kitchen in the single story and the kitchen in the two-story. And that's it for me.
Thank you. Well, you clearly have been there every step of the way, and you have been a great leader for the volunteers on the construction site. I'm so grateful that you lend your project management experience and your attention to detail to building these houses. And Bruce Coldham, one of your fellow volunteers, Bruce, if you want to unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about your involvement in designing the homes, that would be lovely.
Well, I'll be brief, and I'm sorry for being late. But the way we've been designing the houses recently meaning in the past 5 years, I think, at least the ones on this side of the river, we tend to have developed a one single-story model and a two-story model. And we have built them together as a duplex, and we have, as the case in Pelham, built them separately as two standalone single-family units. And occasionally we'll build one, as we did in Shutesbury, the two-story, and not the other. And we have felt that from the Habitat's point of view, it works well if we aren't reinventing wheels and so forth. But of course, not all of homeowners are the same, and they have different needs and different desires. So our design process these days is largely blending the specific needs of our homeowners, who are chosen partway through our design process, and then
Sorry, Bruce, we accidentally muted you. Can you unmute yourself?
Yep. Did I do that again?
Oh, there you are. We can hear you now. Sorry about that.
So we are blending the needs of the homeowner with the idea that we should leverage our productivity as a group of volunteers, but not all professionally trained. Or many of us are professionally trained, but maybe professionally trained as obstetricians or as computer scientists, not so much necessarily as constructors. But many of us have become very competent, and all of us are very willing, and none of us is dangerous as far as I can tell. So it's a really good place to be in. So we have these models of houses, the two and the one story, and they seem to be very successfully able to fit many, many people's needs. And so we have been last few years perfecting, refining. We've been progressively improving their energy performance capabilities. From one project to the next, we get a little better, a little more PV perhaps. The water heating system is a little better. In this house, the energy recovery ventilation that we have here is better and different than we did in the previous outing of this pair in North Amherst, and before that in East in Amherst on East Pleasant Street. So we're constantly looking for ways to improve based on what we've done the previous time, folding in the desires, needs, and wishes and aspirations of the homeowners, and keeping our volunteer crew happy and challenged. And that is really the design story that we have. Habitat has recently been given by ArchiCAD, the organization that provides the software that I'd used all through my professional life, and then briefly recently was unable to get access to it, and now have the software company have given us a free time key, which means I've got 250 hours that I can spend modeling these electronically and generating the documents. And so we'll be able to keep doing this with the same bunch of electrons until I die, I suppose, or until everybody gets fed up with me, which is probably likely to happen sooner. That's the essential design story, I think.
And thank you, Bruce, for, I know you've had a long career designing energy efficient homes, and that's one of the reasons we're so thrilled that you volunteer with us, because that's one of, I think, the primary, as you alluded to, design features as well, is building homes that are energy efficient so our future homeowners have reasonable electric bills. And part of that, after you build an energy efficient house, if you can make that solar powered, it's even better. And I'd like to invite our friends from PV Squared and Janine Hendigas in particular to say a few words about the solar panels you can see on these houses.
So thanks for inviting us to speak. So I've been a project manager at PV Squared for about 4.5 years. This is my first time managing a couple of Habitat houses. And it's been a fun sort of a little sideline, I suppose, to my work. I met Megan a while ago, and one of the things that I'm trying to remember, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, I was an intern at one of the East Hampton houses, duplex. It was a women build project. So it's kind of nice to come back around now on the other side. She wrote me a reference for PV Squared, and I got hired at PV Squared, my third career. So it's kind of a neat little circle there. We were chatting about that earlier today. I did do the walkthroughs, really quick introduction with Hassan and Hajar and Tiffany this afternoon. It's been great for PV Squared to partner with Habitat for, I think, more than a decade now, donating materials and labor for the installation of PV, knowing that in a nice, tight, energy efficient home, that PV is going to go, that power is going to go even farther and help to reduce those, electric bills over time. I was saying to the homeowners, their future homeowners, that, you're going to, the warranties on the materials, the panels and the inverters, 25 years. And I do know that even older versions of these last even longer. So that's just the warranty. So it's not just this year or next year. It's going to be a more of a long-term sort of benefit for folks, it's great for the homeowner. It's also great for the environment. There's so many other positive aspects to having that. So we're very happy to be part of the project. And it really fits our mission in trying to give back So it's just a really good fit. And so basically, I just want to say congratulations to you guys and welcome to the neighborhood. I do live down the street a little bit, you know, maybe 8 houses, 10 houses, something like that. So you might see me walking around. So I'll say hi if I see you. But this is great. Thank you.
Wonderful. I feel like we have the most accomplished interns here. It's really exciting to see that people in what careers they chose. And the partnership with PV Squared has been tremendous because we don't want to build people an affordable home, give them an affordable mortgage, and then have utility bills they can't afford. And the generosity of PV Squared, it goes a long way and to help. I'd also like to, I'm going to turn now to a different group of volunteers, not the ones swinging hammers, but the ones behind the scenes, and give a huge thanks to the family support committees. And one of those family support committee members is Jane Andresen and her husband, Fred, who gathered some friends for a little bit of a sing-along so that we could have a little bit of some music. If we were together in person, we would have asked you all to chime in, but so you can sing at home as we think about the community effort that goes into this project. So Robin, let's have our little musical interlude here. Now we're going to see if the technology agrees. Well, it seems like we're getting a little bit of silence, and I can't really carry a tune. So I don't think that you want me leading the sing along if I had a hammer. Robin's going to try one more time, restarting the Zoom, the PowerPoint, or pulling up the song on another player. And then we're going to, if that doesn't work this next time, then we will have to sing along in our hearts and minds here and move on to the next part of the agenda. I see her cursor going to try and start that audio.
If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning, I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. If I had a bad
All right. Well, that was a good, you got the feeling of you being at a celebration and a sing along there. I don't think the technology is going to cooperate for all the verses, but thank you, Jane and Fred, for recording that. And now I'd like to introduce our family mentors. That usually when we dedicate a Habitat home, everyone in attendance is invited to come tonight.
I'd bring it in the
If we had a hammer. So if we were here in person, I would have you all write a message to the homeowners in a guest book or on a card. I'd like to invite, while we have the mentors and homeowners speak, for you to put well wishes in the comments, so we can pass those along to the homeowners in their journey here. The first of our future homeowner mentors that I'd like to introduce is Lindsay Berry. Lindsay, we're so glad that you're here. Tell us a little bit about Tiffany and introduce her.
Great. Again, I apologize for being late.
You didn't miss your part. You're on time.
Okay, good. This is my first time being a mentor and for family support, and I have to say I have been so blessed having Tiffany as my mentee. She has come to this home ownership with such incredible enthusiasm and positivity, and has been really on top of everything. She has certainly made things easy for me. Tiffany comes with her two young kids, her two young children, and a very supportive family full of experienced, dedicated builders, which is a lovely compliment to the work that we have here, that we do here. Tiffany, I think that your joy and excitement in participating in the whole sweat equity process and picking out your all the things for the kitchen and the fixtures and everything like that was really a very much a high point for me. I really look forward to talking with you about your vision, and you had such a strong vision. It was really terrific. And I think you're going to be incredibly happy in this house. I wish absolute joy and happiness for you and your children here. And so I'm not sure what exactly else to say.
No, that was beautiful. Tiffany, do you guys want to say anything?
Hi, I think I'm unmuted.
There, we can hear you now.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who helped volunteer or did all the work behind the scenes. You guys are the real MVPs. And seeing the house today, I'm now just counting down even more, fingers crossed, just waiting to, get the keys and get in with the girls. They actually both fell asleep in the car on the way home. They were very excited. My little one was so funny today. She's running around. She's trying to give the tour to everybody. And she goes, "We have to start in my bedroom." So she's very proud. The home looks beautiful, and I can't thank you all enough. Lindsay, thank you so much for being so helpful too. And Megan, thank you for always just being a phone call away. I really appreciate you guys so much. And thank you, Walt, for always being at the house, like 7 days a week, I swear. Every time I drove by, you were always there. And everybody else, everyone in between, thank you guys all so much.
Congratulations, Tiffany. We're so excited for you.
Thank you.
I'd like to, now Tiffany has invited her sister, Brianna, to say a few words of blessing. Brianna, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yep, I can unmute myself.
Great.
So I'm Brianna, I'm Tiffany's little sister, and I just came to the house today and I thought it was absolutely beautiful. I think you guys did a great job. I just wanted to tell Tiff that congratulations, and I hope you love your house. I hope all your walls know joy, every room hold laughter, and every window be open to a great possibility. You deserve this. That's all I have to say.
That's a lovely blessing. Thank you so much. And we're really excited to welcome you to Pelham, Tiffany. You're gonna. I'm sorry that we're not signing the paperwork tomorrow, but we'll get there. I'd like to now introduce the mentor for our other family for the second home in Pelham. Carol Wood is the mentor for our future homeowners, Hajar and Hassan. Carol.
Hi, so this is my second time mentoring, and both of my mentorships were impacted a bit by the pandemic. The last one kind of stopped really quickly, and I first met them, Hajar and Hassan, in person in a park, and now we've graduated to other fun things. It's been such a pleasure. There's such a nice balance for each other. Hassan is such a hard worker, and Hajar just brings us joy to the family, and also the food. They're both very generous. I know that people can get a tiny bit of sweat equity for bringing hospitality, but the Hassan and Hajar bring a beautiful meal frequently. So it's been such a pleasure, and getting to know the kids. We had a lot of trips to Home Depot and had a kind of blast because the kids are really fun. And it was always such a joy to watch them. Although Hassan he's the worker. He goes to build every weekday he can before work. And Hajar clearly is the one who is able to decorate and figure out exactly what she wants in her house. And it's been nice to see that nice balance. So it was also really nice today, and this is really not about them, but to see them meet their neighbors. A lot of neighbors stopped by, and it was so great. The neighbors were so gracious, and just a really lovely group of people that came down to welcome them, and also to see their playmates from next door. It was really sweet at the open house today, and also to see Tiffany and Hajar meet, who had never met before. So it was really really something. So anyhow, it's just a very kind and generous and loving family. And I wish for them just a lot of peace and love and happiness in this beautiful new home and their new community.
Thank you, Carol. Hassan and Hajar, would you like to say anything?
Thank you so much for everyone by his name or her name. I cannot just thank everybody. It's nice, like what they say before, like to build, or help, build a house by yourself, from scratch. And I learned a lot from all volunteer, from Walt, Dave. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you also for Carol, being with us, and always I bother her, keep calling if I have any questions. Same thing with Megan too. Thank you so much, for all help. Yeah. And also for all the donate people too. Thank you so much.
Congratulations on becoming homeowners. Hajar and Hassan have invited their friend Mohammed Abdallah to say a few words of blessings.
Good evening, everyone. First, I would like to thank Hassan and Hajar and PVHH for inviting me. I'm honored to be a part of this. I have a couple of minutes, just a few things to mention. I first would like to spend just a minute or two reconciling the meaning of habitat with the concept of dwelling or living on earth from an Islamic perspective. Just a quick reminder, it's mostly to Hassan and in the Muslim tradition, our life on earth is a blessing from God, is a gift from God. It starts with the creation of Adam and Eve, as in many religious traditions, that the original place of dwelling, the original house was in paradise. And I'm just quoting a couple of verses from the Quran in which God says, "O Adam, dwell you and your wife in paradise and eat therefrom in ease and abundance from whatever you will, but do not approach this tree lest you be among the wrongdoers. But Satan caused them to slip out of it and remove them from that in which they had been. And we said, go down all of you as adversaries to one another, and you will have upon the earth a place of settlement and provision for a time." So it's a reminder to Hassan and Hajar that this is an opportunity. Now you have a house and you have a place of your own. Just remember that for the appointed time you are on earth, it's a good opportunity for you to think about gratitude, to think about doing good deeds and make the best use of the house that you have. Just one of the major things is to remember how many people on earth who are not blessed with a proper place to live, with the proper means of drinking healthy water and clean food and things of that sort. But you have the advantage, as and many of us do, are blessed with abundance of a decent place to live and a good place to eat. So showing gratitude to God is one of the best things you can do for the blessing that you're receiving. When you move into your place of house or the new house, try your best to make good use of it. Keep it clean and tidy. And forgive me, Hassan and Hajar, I might be saying things that you already know, but it's okay. We always say a reminder to the person who knows is beneficial. So try to make the best use of the space. And I was very happy to hear about the that there's it's a part of the design to conserve energy and conserve resources. At this time and age, it's very important to try to conserve the use of water and energy, and not to be wasteful, and maintaining and keeping your new house in good shape. Also, from a religious or from an Islamic point of view, paying attention to your neighbors. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, reminded people that you really need to be kind and careful to your neighbor, not to offend them, and that you would be very happy that you are a good addition to their community. Lastly, I will end with just making a supplication to you and to all of us. Oh Allah, make this new house of brother Hassan and sister Hajar and their children a place of tranquility, love, and happiness. Oh Allah, make their time therein full of obedience, guidance, and peace. Oh Allah, accept from them and ease for them a healthy lifestyle in this place. Oh Allah, reward them and reward all the volunteers and the donors who dedicated their time and efforts for such a good cause, such as Habitat for Humanity in the Pioneer Valley. Oh Allah, reward them all and bless them and their good work. Oh Allah, accept from us and guide us to all the good deeds and protect us from any harm. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is a lovely way to mark this momentous occasion with a reminder about being neighbors. And I certainly am feeling very grateful for this great community. I'm going to now show a video of the house as a way to close out today's celebration. And then we get to say goodbye and enjoy our dinners and our families. And I want to just say thank you. So now the video is going to begin. Thank you so much for being here this evening.
When you know that it used to be just land and you and all volunteers helping each other to get that house, one day you just come in and see, oh, that house, you see how's that been? It was just last year, just a floor, and now it's a house. Yeah, it's a nice feeling, yeah. You feel like a pride, yeah.
I think the thing that I take away most from this is the sense of pride. Like, this is my house. Like, everywhere I walk, like, I look at the shed, I'm like, oh, I did that. I go in, I look at the attic crawl space, oh, I helped frame that. And every little piece of the house, there's like a piece of me in it. And I've had my two daughters be like a big part of the process too. So like even the siding, my daughters picked the color of it. So now every time I see the color, I'm like, oh, my kids picked the color of it. So every detail, like they're in it too. It definitely makes me feel really good that I've done a lot of things like out of my comfort zone. Then I'm like, oh, now I know something goes wrong with my house, I can be the one to fix it.
It's nice, to work with the Habitat folks. They are all very nice people, all different backgrounds, very knowledge, very helpful, very nice people. To own the house is always the big dream, to have your own place. So I encourage everybody to apply, take this experience, because like what they say always, it's nice to build your house with your own hands.
Since being a part of Habitat, every single one of my friends or family or anyone who's having any sort of like housing complications or anything in their life, I'm like, you should apply for Habitat. Here's the website. Let me tell you all about it. I have a lot of other friends who are single parents. They're like, oh, I can never own a home. I'm like, I thought the same thing, but you can own a home. It's such a great opportunity. And I'm like, here's how, because I want other people to know about this opportunity and not to be afraid to like take that leap. I knew about Habitat for like 8 years and I was just like, they wouldn't ever pick me, so I'm just not gonna apply. And then 2020 happened and I was like, well, anything can happen, right? So I just applied and it all worked out. I mean, I'm a couple months from being in a house that every little detail me and my kids picked out together. So the whole experience has just been amazing.
I'm planning to try to make a good place for my kids to playhouse or a small garden, some project in their rooms, just to make them happy, make it home. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Congratulations and thank you. That concludes our program today. You're welcome to unmute yourself and wave and say hello if you would like to, and we'll say goodbye. And thank you all to who contributed to make this possible. It was really a community effort.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck in the new house.
Thank you.
Best of luck. Hope things go smoothly.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations. Bye.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Welcome to Pelham.